Hello and welcome again. After a while there is another making of video. This time I will show you how I made Ann's school uniform from Persona 5. I bought a plain white jacket and turned it into this. So here is the process. First thing I made were the patches. She has an S symbol as logo of Shujin High School and clover petals on her hood. I watched some tutorials on how to make patches, so here's my try. First I made paper patterns to assure that all of the petals will be the same. Then I traced them onto green fabric and made the same for the S. This one is made out of white cotton. I used iron on vlieseline to make it as stiff as possible. I ironed it on with the steam iron. Just press it down and don't move it since it may cause creasing of vlieseline. To make it even more stable, you can stick the patches onto the jeans fabric. For this step you can use spray glue, fabric glue or double-sided tape, which I used. I saw people cutting the whole shape out of tape, but I used only small shapes because my needles get sticky if I stitch through the tape. They won't sew unless I clean them. Tape squares on petals should be even smaller since it caused me some problems. For stitching the clover I prepared the dark green thread because I didn't got lighter color, and for S I used red and then blue. I used lower tension, zigzag stitch and the shortest length of stitch. And here you can see one of the petals sewn to the jeans fabric. Here is a small clip of me zigzagging the S shape. I made this a year ago and I used slightly different technique on the stab patch I made a few days ago, and I will show you the clip at the end of the video. Here you can see the difference between the sewn and the cut petals. And here you can see the S shape. Now for the rest of the jacket. Since she folded the sleeves of her blazer, I was thinking of shortening the sleeves or just ripping them out and making it into vest, but I decided to let it be and just fold them while wearing the jacket. There is no bulk underneath the blazer, so I guess it's okay. In this clip I'm actually talking and explaining what I will do with the jacket, about the sleeves, about ripping the pockets. I managed to rip like half of it, but then I decided I would have to resew the zipper and the bottom, so I stitched it back. And I also show the places I will paint with the fabric and talk about placing the patches. I was also thinking about the stripes. I have got the concept art book from Persona 5 Royal, and here I'm getting angry about this mirrored image of Ann since it confused me for a few minutes about the whole placing of S shapes since it should be on the left side, but the art has it on the right. And here's another clip of me showing that I wanted to rip the pockets off, but I couldn't because of the zipper and the bottom part, and I would have to then resew the whole thing, so I just decided to take the S shape, place it over the pocket and let everything be. I'm gonna sew the S shape with blue thread and green thread for the petals. I opted for the same color as the color of zigzag lines on the edges. I will sew directly on the zigzagged edges. Here you can see the finished patches and we can move on to the painting. I used masking tape to mask the edges of the places I want to paint. Wow, who would guess? This one is 7 centimeters long, about 3 inches, and I decided to dab the paint onto the jacket with the sponge so there won't be any brush strokes. Also be sure to use the fabric paint. I think I used about 2 layers. It looks very messy, but wait a few seconds. And last but not least, the stripes on the bottom. You can definitely paint them on, but I decided to sew on some elastic. But be sure to use elastic ribbons or rubber, because this part stretches around your back and using non-stretchy ribbons may cause you problems with zipping up. I started with the red elastic in the middle. Make sure your elastic is not centuries old, because that may cause you troubles while washing it. Please don't ask. All I will say is that the jacket is slightly pink now, along with few of my shirts. I also measured the distance from blue stripes and decided to be extra at the stripes on the edges of sleeve as well. I ripped it off yesterday. First, I put the jacket on, bent everything down to assure it will fit me, then I used basting stitch to help me stabilize it, and then I sew it on the jacket itself. Here comes the best part of this video, my out of focus basting stitching. You can see I basted everything and it looks kinda crooked. I'm aware of it, but it was caused by two things. First, the blue ribbons are not stretchy, and the second, it will become straighter when I stretch the fabric, so it's not that big of a deal. But you stretchy ribbons, listen to me. And the third reason, it is also puckering because of my basting stitch. Here is another masterpiece, and this time it's sewing on the stripes. I once again used zig-zag stitch because it is best for the stretchy materials. This time I used slightly longer and less wider stitch. I'm also cutting the basting stitch while sewing because of the stated reasons. The red stripe is elastic, so there is no need for cutting the basting stitch while sewing this one on, but because of the non-stretchy blue ribbon, it is mandatory to cut it. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Ann Takamaki's jacket is finally done. You can go out, go visit your friends, or just, I don't know. It's autumn is coming, so this one may be good for anyone just to wear it casually. And since you managed to watch till the end, here is this clip of my latest sewing off patches, sewing on a knitted sweater. And now tutorial how to make patches number 2. For this one I made paper pattern of star, used iron on vlieseline, that's the same as we did before. Instead of sticking it onto the jean fabric, I pinned it straight to the sweater fabric, while jean fabric was on the bottom of this. So there is red star on the front and star out of jean fabric on the bottom or on the wrong side of this sweater. The zigzag stitch was less wide and slightly longer than the original, the same one I used for stitching on the stripes of Ann's jacket. I used it only on the edges to sew the fabric on. And this is the end. Thank you once again for watching and see you next time.